Hello, everybody. It is Sunday night. The date today is the 24th of March, 2024, and happy Friday. Happy Sunday night. Oh, my goodness. I think I'm probably speaking to people who wish it was Friday night. I don't know. Do you guys look forward to your weekends, or are you people who it doesn't really matter? I guess it depends on whether you love what you do, and it also depends on whether or not you're still working and all of the things. Hello, Maria. How are you? Yes, supposedly sunny Queensland, but doesn't sound like it is. It was raining when I got up this morning, but then it stopped, and we ended up having a beautiful day. So lovely, lovely day today. I went for my walk this morning. I'm trying to make sure I get 10,000 steps every day. So that's what they recommend. So normally my walks are about 6,000 steps or something like that, or 5,500. But on a weekend, I try and make them a bit longer. Then if I lie around in the evenings, it doesn't really matter. All right, I'm just going through and looking at people's names and comments very, very quickly. Margaret was here hours and hours ago. Hello, Sheila. You were here a long time ago as well. And then Suzanne and Donna was here. Goodness me, you're all here early. You know what? You're probably, I know this is going to be hard to believe for a lot of people. I probably won't be using much vellum anymore. I know, sad, right? Because A, it's being retired, and B, it has already sold out. It is discontinued already. So it only took a couple of days after they announced that it was retiring for it to sell out. And so there's also very vanilla thick cardstock has also sold out. And one stamp set, surprisingly, the Countryside Corners stamp set. Those three things are out and will not be returning. They are officially retired. So that's a bit sad. So if you see me using vellum over the next few weeks, it will just be because, a bit of nostalgia. But normally I actually state in my videos underneath my YouTube lives that everything you see me use is available for purchase. So if it's not available for purchase, I try not to use it unless it's something that's upcoming and will be available soon. And maybe they'll bring vellum back again one day. I'm sure they will. I'm absolutely certain they will, and they'll probably bring it back in a different configuration. So there we are. Leslie, I see you were saying you bought lots of it. You bought up some, and you don't use it that often. Deb, hello. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you enjoy your week ahead. Hello, Chris. Hi, Janine. Hello, Rose. How are you? You want vellum while we can? Well, we really can't now. It's gone. It's finished. Isn't that sad, right? But like I said, I might use it just to be nostalgic about it. And then Sheila and Donna were back. Rose is here. Hello, 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 Rose. How are you? Hello, Joan. If I'm missing people's names, I'm so sorry. Oh, hello, Jody. How are you? Yes, I hope I don't forget any names either, but I will because there's too many names. We have 39 people watching at the moment that I can see. So you may not be able to see that many. I'm seeing the sum total of everyone, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube. So there's no way I'm going to be able to say everyone's names. But I just wanted everyone to know that I wish you all a very, very happy week ahead. And if you are doing anything special for Easter, have a great weekend. And even if you're not, still have a great weekend. How are you, Jenny? Hi, Katrina. Hello, Denise. We need a coffee. Hello, Solvega. How are you? Quickly, I'm scrolling really, really fast. If anyone has questions, if anyone has asked questions, you still need ideas to use your vellum. You know what, Rose? My official belief, there's two ways I love to use vellum more than anything else. One is behind everything. So if I have a circle sentiment, I like a larger one in vellum because it softens. It softens the edges. It softens the whole effect. The other thing is also to use it as a softening thing. If you have a really, really bright paper that is a little bit over the top and you think, whoa, that's really bright, maybe too bright for this card, you can put a piece of vellum over it and it tones everything down, softens all of that as well. So there are two ways that I love to use vellum. Oh, I know, a sad face. I know, what are we going to do? I know, right? Who would have guessed that we were going to lose vellum? But I was talking about this the other day, and the honest truth is I almost never sell it. And at the end of the day, they are running a business. They have to actually have things that sell. And if people are not buying it because it comes in such a big pack and it lasts so long, because you only use it in small quantities. So obviously, if it's not selling, they need to do something and change it into a format that maybe does. You tried to order last night? No, it's all gone. I know, Gail, right? Exactly. They may well add it to the online exclusive list later. I don't think they will in its current format. I think it needs to go. So I can't believe I'm saying that. No, nobody is safe with anything. If there's something you really want, Lani, you need to grab it. Like if it's really important to you, don't wait until the discounts start on the 9th of April. And the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes people aren't prepared to take the risk and they'll jump in early, and things like vellum, like they're very vanilla, that's gone. And we have one stamp set that's gone as well. So there we go. Hello, Subu. Nice to see you there. Hello from the Washington State. Hello, Donna. Well, they may do that. We've had small packs of vellum before. We had a layering, was it vellum layers or layering vellum that we had in a couple of catalogs ago? They brought those out, and some of them had designs and some of them were plain. So yeah, I think so too, Donna. That's what I'm hoping they'll do it in a smaller pack. Hello, Rosemary. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start with something new tonight. So I'm going to switch it over to the desk. I'll press the big button and let's go over there. All right, so I think everybody knows we're in what we call catalog transition period, okay? And that means we have two catalogs, this one and this one. These two catalogs are going to be discontinuing, okay? That one's had a bit of a rough life. Whoops. Oh, well. But this one is finishing up at the end of April, the last day of April, and this one too. They both are. And we have got official lists of all the things that are retiring, and they're called the last chance products. So there are nearly 5 pages or 4.5 pages from the annual catalogue. A lot of things. I've highlighted all the things I have personally. And then this is the 1 page from the mini catalogue. Okay, so this is what's retiring out of here. And if it has a highlighter, that means I particularly own it. And if I stuck a little black dot next to it, that's because I haven't actually pulled it off the shelf yet, because I'm thinking I might use it over the next couple of weeks. Let me show you something. I'm just going to grab a box. I've got 2 boxes. I counted, I think, 17 punches that I'm losing. When I say losing, I'm not really losing them because I'll sell them or I'll, do different things with them. But this is, I don't know if you can see it. Look at this. Can't even get it all in the frame, right? This is my box of what is retiring that I happen to own, okay? I counted up about 40 sets. It might be actually slightly more than that, but it's a lot. So I'm going to be getting rid of all these after they retire, but they're not officially retired until after the date, okay? And I have a similar box of dies and punches. I can barely lift it. It's very, very heavy. Goodness me. This is all, see, look at all my punches and dies and things that are retiring. I've got, and this is 3 high. So I've got, this bear I think had already retired and I don't think I'd realised. I just took it off the shelf. So that one probably doesn't really count. But all the others do. I've got the cherries. I've got the clouds. I've got all the different things. This one is going. I think I need to use this one because that's the trio punch and I haven't used it nearly enough. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff there. Isn't that a lot? I know. And this is really heavy because of all those punches. Punches are heavy. Oh, there we go. All right, let me bring this back down. You can see some of the mess out here. Because that's how it is. I just try and tidy up the bit where I'm working and then everything else is just how it is. So I thought I would use one of my new sets, and I told you on Friday night that we were going to use it. And it is called Spotlight on Nature, and it's brand new from this little beauty. Now this is the new annual catalogue that will be starting on the 1st of May. Okay. Now, here's something I need to tell you. I'm actually going to be away then. I'm actually on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip over in Mexico, and I'll be gone between the 21st of this month of April, of next month, April, and the 7th of May. Okay, so I'm gone for that whole period, which means I won't even be around when the catalog goes live. That doesn't mean you can't place orders. Okay, please, please, please know that it doesn't matter if I'm here or not. If you're using the online store, you can order anytime. Okay, and I'm actually going to be checking in probably once a day on my computer, or once every couple of days, depending on how much fun we're having, and making sure that everything is running smoothly and everything is good. So it is very exciting. It's also very scary. You have no idea how much I have to do before I go away. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now, but that's okay. I'll get it done. So in the annual catalogue, we have this fantastic little set. This is called, like I said, Spotlight on Nature. And I've been playing around with this a little bit. I did a couple of projects with it actually at on stage when we were down there. They actually had some designs for us to create with this, and I really, really liked. I just thought this was really pretty. But can I be honest with you and tell you, I didn't buy this bundle. I didn't choose this bundle for the stamp set. I chose it for the dies. I love these dies. Are you ready? These dies are fantastic. Look at these. How good are those? I love good circle dies. I mean, I love them anyway. And they've got, I'll bring it up closer so you can see all these different. So you've got like 3 different types of edges. You've got your little like radiating lines. You've got little long thin lines. And then you've got like a little flower border. Okay. And they're different ones depending on, these are the same sizes as these, but they're just different edges for the same sizes. So I want them too. I know, I have them. Aren't they great? I love them, Suzanne. They're fantastic. So I understand your sentiment. All right. So these are really lovely. And I am going to play around with those a bit tonight. I thought we would start. I've got a couple of scraps here I'm going to work on. And I'm actually going to create a card. I've got this big stamp already on my block. This is block E. Some of our blocks are retiring. You may have heard that. Block A, which is the little tiny weeny one. Block I, which is the big, long, thin one. And block G, which is the small, skinny, little sentiment one. This is block G. Okay, that's and I do use all of those. I use all of the blocks. However, there are certainly some that I could probably, if I was going to do without any, I can use B instead of A. It's close enough. I can use E for most things. I could use I for. And, of course, we still have F. F is the gigantic one that you would need for a background stamp. So just bear in mind that some of the blocks are going. If you think you would like those sizes, you might want to jump in and get them. Don't wait too long. I don't know. On my list here, it does tell me if there's any specials on any of these things. Okay, so let me just have a quick look. The blocks. Okay, and I'm just going to use my ruler because it helps me work out where I'm at. Okay, so the blocks, A and I are not being discontinued. Block G is only being discontinued by 10%. Okay, so they must have a lot of stock of that one, whereas A and I maybe not as many. So I do think that the price, I'm giving you what is the case in Australia. It may be different depending on stock levels in your warehouse if you're elsewhere. Okay, so if you're in Europe or you're in North America, then I would be, don't take what I'm saying about what's going to be on sale as gospel, because it may be different in your market. Okay, you're only going to get the dies. Fair enough, Leslie. You could do a lot with just the dies. I think you don't need to have both. The bundle will be the standard bundle price. Stamps and dies are not going up in the new catalogues. That will be $91.75, which is what I would have expected to have been in the last price range. So, all right. So I'm going to stamp this in Night of Navy, and I'm going to just pop that down, and let's very, very gently tap. Something I often find myself saying to people, especially in classes. And see, even that light tap, I still managed to pick up a little bit of extra paint ink there on my edge of that stamp. So I've got it on my finger now. It's really, really important, okay, that you do not push. And a lot of people, because our previous stamp pads, people who have worked with felt stamp pads in the past, these are foam. If you worked with felt pads, you would be used to pushing really hard to get the ink onto the stamp. And I find I'm always saying to my customers, because they've got to be retrained, because they were used to doing it the old way with the felt pads and pushing. And now if you do that with the foam pads, you end up with lots and lots of ink all the way around the edges, which then can get transferred to your image. Okay, so I think you just need to be retrained. You just need to retrain your brain to only lightly tap and always check your stamp before you do the stamping. And I count to 5. So I'm giving you a bit of basic stamping 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. When you hold it, I usually count to about 5 and then I lift it off. I go straight down. The other thing you don't want to do, you don't want to rock your stamp. Okay. And the number of people who do this, I'm always amazed. I see people, they stamp something and, there they are. Got to make sure that actually makes it more likely that you're going to transfer any ink around the edges if you have any, and you won't get as good an image. Okay, so you just want to go straight down, count to 5, straight up. All right, so that's just your basic one-on-one. If you haven't done a lot of stamping, that's the best way to go about it. All right, so I've got my image here, and because I've stamped in water-based ink, which is what our classic inks are, I'm going to use my blends markers to color this in. And the colors I'm going to pick, I'm going to go with Old Olive, dark and light for my leaves. I'm going to do my, and you'll see why in a minute, I'm going to use Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie for my colors. Okay, so I'll start with my leaves. Now, because these are only quite small, I would probably use the smaller end. So we have 2 ends on these. These are alcohol markers. We've got like a writing or a very fine end for doing fine detail work. And then we've got our paintbrush end down here for doing a wider space, something when you need to cover more ground. So that's really, really good. I'm just looking. I'm just having a little look here. Donna, you're saying there won't be a bundle discount. You'll have to buy the stamp and dies separately. It is a bundle in the new catalogue. Is that not what you mean? Check that out for me, because I'm not sure that that is correct. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to use in the like the bottom part of my leaves down here, I'm going with my fine tip end, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color. And I'm going to do a few at a time, because if I do too many, you get the best results from blending if you do it while the ink is still wet. So if we do this while that darker ink is still wet, it's going to blend better than if we wait for it to dry. So it doesn't really matter what order I do them in. Ideally, I guess it makes sense to go back to the one that you did first, but I didn't do that, did I? Never mind. All right, that looks good. It's pretty basic and it's small. If you didn't want to use the darker color, you don't really have to, because on finer leaves like this, it's not going to show up a whole lot anyway. But I like to use both. Yeah, it is a bundle in the catalogue. Sibu, I'm very, very happy to show you to do it. But it sounds like you've seen me do it before. I have a really, really good video called The Game-Changing Way to Mount Your Stamps. That video is one of my more successful videos. I've had tons of views. People love it, and I still get comments every week on how people have found that helpful. So, but if you do it the way I show you, it's actually pretty easy. Now, I'm just using my fine tip end just to go over the stem. I'm taking my time. And down here. All right, that looks good. Yeah, I think that's not right, Donna. I think that's not right. Sometimes, I tell you what, I've had that happen a couple of times in the last week or so, where people have heard other people say things and I've heard them repeat it and they weren't right. So careful. Careful. It may be that it's not correct. All right, I'm going to use my dark pumpkin pie, and I'm going to add that to the bottom of my flowers here where the shadow would be. And you can kind of get a bit of an idea from the shadow created by the stamp itself. Then I'm actually going to come up to I'm going to skip over the light one and go straight to my daffodil dark. So we've got our orange going into our yellow. And then same, do this one as well. And then the light yellow I like to do on the edges because it's the brightest of the three. So it's lovely and bright and sort of lifts the whole thing. So we're just going to go over those dark bits with the edges here. So if I go over it, it blends it all together, and you can't even see the lines where one ends and the next one begins, and that's what you want. That's why they're called blends. Oh, you haven't got your new catalogue yet? Oh, yeah, our complimentary catalogues have not yet arrived, but they were supposed to be going out this week. So even though Stampin' Up! May have sent them to the mailing house, sometimes I find when they go through the mailing house, they take longer to arrive. So I'm guessing, I actually don't know how the mailing house organises that and what they do, but they do get to us eventually. So with a bit of luck, we should get them this week. And then demonstrators can order their catalogues from the 2nd of April. So there you go. Yes, that's right. Only the continuing ones have bundles split up. You are correct, Marilyn. That is right. The new ones do come as bundles, and there is a whole section just for bundles at the start. All right. So I'm actually going to cut this out, but I didn't think you'd want to watch me do that. So by the magic of television, here's one I prepared earlier. Ta-da! Look. Isn't that clever? Don't you love that? Right, and that's I've just gone around and cut. I left some areas in the middle here, and I did that on purpose. I thought about cutting the whole lot out, and I thought, no, if I leave these areas here, then I can put dimensionals behind those, and it gives me extra space for those. So I've kind of left it more intact in the middle there, if that makes sense. And that's how it looks when you cut it out. And you might notice when I cut, I leave a little tiny border around the outside, and that just helps to highlight the whole thing. So it's nice, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? Hey there, Judy. Nice to see you. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Practice makes perfect, Subu. You'll get there, I promise. All right. And I've also cut one of these. All right. So this is one of the circles. It's the second largest one from one of them, from this one. So it's got those little dashes, and you can see how nice this is. Look, doesn't that look good? Love that. All right. So I'm actually going to pop that. This is going to end up on here. I really, really, really like it. And I'm going to pop it to one side because I'm going to choose my colors based on how the rest of my card is looking. I have decided for this one, we're actually going to use the same paper that you might have seen me use on Friday night. And if you love this paper, you might want to go back and look at that Friday night video. And it is the Mediterranean Blooms, which is this one that we were using the other night. Okay, so I've got Balmy Blue, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Lemon Lolly, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Peach Pie, and Pumpkin Pie. They're all the colours in there. So that's why I used the daffodils and the pumpkins to fit in with this. Mind you, I'm only going to use blue papers tonight. I'm deciding I'm going to use, just to have a bit of, even though it's navy, not Misty Moonlight, I decided to go on the Misty Moonlight because I think it's just going to give it a bit more contrast. And I'm deciding whether to use this paper with the little, what are they? I don't know what those are. They're like little squares, but what would we call these? I don't know. It's almost tiled, isn't it? So we have to order them. You will get a complimentary one, Donna. You should get a complimentary one. They should have gone out this week. But if you want more than that one complimentary one, yes, you would need to order them. Okay, so that's correct. All right. Now I'm deciding whether I want this one or this is the other one. I really like this as well. So we've got this one here has like little flowers. Can you see that? Aren't they beautiful? Okay. And it is mostly navy with a small amount of white. This one has more white on it. All right. So there we go. That's okay, Donna. It's okay. That's okay. So you don't have to order your complimentary catalog. Okay, that will come to you automatically. Everyone gets a complimentary catalog every time catalogs come out. Then when I say everyone, I mean all demonstrators. And then if you want extras, like you need to send them out to customers or give them out to people or something like that, then yes, they come in packs of 8 or boxes of 8, and you would order those on an order. So on a demonstrator order. There you go. I know, very Mediterranean, isn't it? It's lovely. All right. The tiles, says Jody. So that's this one. You like this one? All right. Well, I'm going to cut this to be 3 inches wide. This has got the actually, that's this one here. I might as well cut into one that's already cut. This is a sheet I've used before. And I'm going to cut this to be 3 inches. I'm going with inches because it's 12 by 12 paper. So yes, I know we do metric, but sometimes it's easier to cut 12 by 12 paper in inches. And then just to be really confusing, because I'm going to be using this side, I'm going to make this 13 centimeters long because my paper is 14.3 by 10. This is centimeters, okay? So this is going to be 13. So if you're wondering how many inches, that's what 5 1/8 is 13 centimeters. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to do that. So because it's 3 inches wide, I'm going to cut it at the 1 inch mark. We're going to have 3 panels. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so there's my 3 panels. And this is going to go onto my Misty Moonlight card base, and it's going to go like so. And you could put this on dimensionals if you wanted to be fancy, but I'm just going to glue mine down, so I'm just going to use some Tombow. And you can do this a couple of different ways. You can start in the middle, put your middle one down first and work out to the edges, or I usually start at the edges and then put my piece in the middle at the end. Okay, so that's just how I like to do it. So let me get some glue on the back of this. Yes, in Australia, a pack of 8 catalogs is $25 coming up. Okay, so $25 for a pack of 8. So it's a lot cheaper than buying an individual catalog. You can buy individual catalogs, but they're a lot more expensive that way. So go with the 8 pack and you'll save some money. All right, and then this one here. Let's get that going. One of the things that is going up is Tombow. It's currently, I think is it $9.75 right now, something like that. And it's going to be going up to, I forget. That's not very good, is it? I should remember that, but I don't remember. But as a friend of mine noticed the other day, it's still cheaper than Spotlight. So, so we're happy it's still cheaper, but it's sad that it's got to go up. So it is the way of the world, though, isn't it? Is it not? And I am glad they give us plenty of time to know about the changes so that we can stock up if we want to or do whatever we need to do. All right. I know the papers are just gorgeous. I love blue and white anyway, but then you throw in some yellow, white, and orange, and it's just magic. It's beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do here, this is going to end up on here, and this is going to end up on here. Okay, so this is how this is going to look. Isn't it beautiful? And I'd like to have some color behind here to highlight this, and it will make a huge difference to how this looks. So I'm going to grab a blending brush. Let me grab one. And I'm going to use one of the colors from the suite. So I thought I'd use Balmy Blue, because that will be nice behind this, like almost like sky behind my flowers. So that's, I like this leaf too, but I really, really love this crosshatch. This crosshatch is great. And we could even use that on here if we wanted to. There's also some speckles, like a bit of dottage. So I know I've borrowed that comment from other demonstrators who say dottage, so it's not my original wording. All right, so I'm just gently coming around and swirling around and around. Let's see how this is looking. It's looking better already. Look at that. Isn't that nice? That's probably enough, actually. I think it looks good. All right, so I'm going to add some dimensionals behind here. So I'm going to go right down the bottom because the top of this is going to be off the top of the circle. And I'll put a piece here and one here. You could also use mini dimensionals if you wanted to, if you're worried about using the big ones. That's probably enough, those 4. And let's grab our backs off. All right. Okay, that's how it looks now. Isn't that pretty? I know. It doesn't such an easy thing to do. So it's going up to 10.50, Leslie. Thank you for that. I love it that you girls look up some of the stuff because I don't have time to while I'm live, and it's really great that you guys can do that. All right, this is looking really nice. Isn't it beautiful? All right, so let's add some dimensionals behind that, and then we'll think about our sentiment. So this is a really easy card that I think if you had this suite and you've got these dies, anyone can make this card. Yes, it does take a bit of time to cut out the picture. If you didn't want to cut it out, you could stamp actually on the circle and maybe choose a slightly larger circle. But I liked it cut out like this. I'm just trying to get this right in the middle. It almost goes exactly to the edges of the paper. So that's pretty good actually. All right, looking good. Really, really, really like it. This one, Lynn, is called Spotlight on Nature. It's in the new catalogue. And like I was saying to the girls before, I like it, but the reason I actually bought this bundle is for the dies. Look how look how nice they are. I just love them. All right. So looking really good. I'm going to close this ink pad and I'm going to bring in my Misty Moonlight. And you could use a sponge around the edges if you wanted to, or you can be lazy like me and just gently drag the edges around so that you get a little bit of an edge all the way around your piece. You could also use Night of Navy for this if you wanted to go darker. All right, there we go. Just looks a little bit more finished. I know. Have you used yours yet, Bronwyn? Oh, you haven't had time to play. I just read that. Oh, that's actually a really good way of doing it, Judy. Clever you. So Judy just said she bought 10 Tombos before the last price rise because last time they went up fairly significantly. They went from $7 to $9.25 or $9.75 or whatever it is, but they went up. Okay, and then I'm going to use, I think I'll use this Dear Friend because that's a really nice little sentiment. And let's pop that on a block. Which block shall I use? This one will do. Oh, that's terribly crooked, Linda. Not that it really matters, but what's more important that it's straight when I put it on the card, right? But it does help if it's straight on your block. So let's use our... what do I do with my Night of Navy ink? We just used it, right? So it's got to be here. Here it is. It's underneath my paper. All right, so we're going to go like this. Now, I wasn't sure what to use, but I've decided to use the... Oh, is that okay? I've decided to use the... This is from the Cheerful Daisies dies. I don't think that one's retiring. I don't think it is. I think it's still on my shelf. Is it still on my shelf? Yeah, the stamp set certainly is, and I'm thinking the die set might be as well. So not everything is retiring. All right, so we're going with our Dear Friend sentiment there. And depending on if I had a longer, thinner die, I would probably put it all the way across. But because it's shorter, I'm going to go slightly to the side here. I'm going to pop that on dimensionals. Somebody asked me whether or not I would do a video about all the retiring stuff. I haven't done it yet, but I do think it's a good idea. What do you guys think? Should we go do a walkthrough and work out what's retiring and what's not? Might be helpful for everyone, right? The only thing was I didn't feel I'm really ready to do it yet because I don't feel I know yet well enough what's going, but I'm starting to get a feel for it now that I've pulled everything off my shelves. You think that's a good idea? When should we do that? All right, let me tell you what's going on this week. All right, so we've got Tuesday, Technique Tuesday. All right, then Thursday we have Craft Along. Friday is Good Friday, so I'm not going live next Friday night. I'll put up a note for anyone who's missed this announcement, but I will not be live next Friday night. And Sunday night also is Easter Sunday, and a lot of people will be away, so I'm deciding whether I should pre-record something or maybe, I don't know. What do people think? What do we want to do? Is anyone going to be away? All right, so this is looking really good. I'm going to pop it on. Let me just grab a basic white thick card base. Here's one right here. Now, the other thing for anyone who's in my VIP group, if you're in Australia and you're in the VIP group, I did put up a note today asking whether anyone would like to have a flash sale of some of my retired products. That's not retiring, that's already retired, because I can't sell things until they're officially retired. I'm liking this card. I'm liking it a lot. It does need bling, or it needs something still. So we'll work that out. Pre-record for Sunday. I did think of that. I may do that. But there's no point in pre-recording if there's no one here to watch it. So you'll be here. Donna said she'd like to be around on Sunday. Well, I'm happy to do Sunday if, but then the other question is, if we're going to do a retired thing, when will we do that? Would we make it, one of my regular slots, or would we do an extra? That is the question. All right. What shall we do for bling? I'm just having a little look on my desk to see. I did see some Misty Moonlight dots here. These are the tinsel gems, and I believe these are continuing. So let's use those. So I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to add, these are Misty Moonlight, these ones. So I'm going to pop one right there. And then one over here. These are really pretty, these gems. And then one up the top here. What do you think? Do we like that? Do we need, the only other thing I would possibly use, I could tie a linen thread bow and have it going around this, like have it on the stem here. Let's see if that would that be too much? Or do we need it? What do you guys think? What is the consensus? What does everyone want me to do? I think a ribbon would be too much, but we might get away with a bit of linen thread, because that's how that would look right about there. What do you think? Oh, yellow bling would have worked too. Yeah, maybe it was too much blue. I could have done yellow bling. Bow, says Michelle. Bow. Okay. All right. So let me cut this with my ribbon scissors. And let's pop that on with a glue dot. Just make it slightly smaller. And then I've got to work out what we're going to do next. Because it's already 8:11, so we want to do something simple. And I've got a whole bunch of retiring things, and it'd be fun to play with something that's retiring. Does anyone have any requests? Something that's retiring that I actually own, of course. All right. There we go. That's how that's looking. What do we think? Do we like that? It turned out really nice, didn't it? I think these circles are really special. I think that's fabulous. But I think what makes the card pop, believe it or not, is the blending brush behind the main sentiment. Sorry, behind the main image. I think that really pops the whole thing up. If it didn't have the Balmy Blue underneath there, it would be a nice card. But with the Balmy Blue blending brush, it becomes a fabulous card. So, yeah. Pansies, but might be a bit late. Oh yeah, because the pansies, I can do those another time if you like, but they're a fair bit of work because they're a 2-step set. So Have the weekend off. Peeps can always look at your back library of videos. True. That is true. I know you're right, Sibu. There is a lot to do before Mexico, but guess what? I think I designed my swap card yesterday. So something that we do for all of our incentive trips is we have the opportunity to participate in swaps with the other girls. And these, I don't do a lot of swaps, but these are really special because obviously the caliber is pretty high, being, you know, global achievers from around the world. And so you get beautiful cards. They're nearly always pretty special. And they do a card swap and they do a 3D swap. And I used to kill myself to do both. In the last couple of years, the last few years that I've done incentive trips, I have just participated in the card swap. So to take the pressure off of having to come up with a 3D item, but I do the card swaps. And that then gives me a whole bunch of cards made with sets that I might not have, which is great to have to show people, right? So, you know, there's a good use for them. So last night I sat down and created with one of my brand new sets that I absolutely love. And I'm not going to show you because it's like top secret until, and I might even change my mind between now and then. But right now I'm thinking it might be a great card for a swap. And, you know, that means I can get started on, you know, cutting up one bit at a time, maybe cut up all the card bases one day, cut up all the, you know, embossing all the backgrounds one day. I don't know. We'll see. Me too. I like the die cut circle as well. It's fabulous. All right. Okay. Very happy with that. I think I'll have to post that. That'll go up on my Instagram and Facebook pages tomorrow. You know what? I've been going for a week now. I've been going to post pictures from on stage on my blog, and I still haven't done it. The other thing I need to do is I need to post the supply list for Craft Along, which is next Thursday. So that'll be going up, and it's got to be up by tomorrow morning. It's got to be. So I might even, if I get time tonight, I'll sit down and do it tonight. So there we go. So did anyone come up with anything they wanted me to do with some retired stuff? Goodness knows I have enough things. Oh, thanks, Chris. That's very nice of you. I have 59 watching all together, so that does tell me something. So you're saying 46 on YouTube. That means more people watch on YouTube than watch on Facebook, and that's okay. I'm completely fine with that. Could you cut the circles tonight? Sorry? I'm not sure what you mean. What circles? What circle? You mean my choice. Well, I was hoping you guys would have a choice so I didn't have to come up with something, but that's okay. I can. All right. Shall we? Let's do another thing. All right. I'm going to show you one more thing for that's brand new before I do a retiring thing. This is some new paper. It is called Thoughtful Journey. It's 6x6 paper and it's stunning. This reminds me, do you remember the On the Horizon paper that we had a couple of years ago that sold like hotcakes and everyone loved it? It's very similar to that same kind of style. So like watercolored scenery, just beautiful. And there are four pieces of each design. So you've got more watery kind of thing going on the background there, and then more of a scene on the front. I'm going to pull them out as I go. So beautiful. And then on the back we've just got a simple water. This would be great for a background on a card. There's 4 of each. I'm going to need multiple packs of this. I know that already. It is just beautiful. On the back, watercolor design that you could do all kinds of things. You could add trees and you could add all sorts of stuff with this. I just had an idea. All right, I'm going to pull that piece out. Okay, I've got an idea, guys. And then this on the back, I like this one. Look at the colors in that. Isn't that beautiful? That's stunning. New circles if no suggestions on returning. Okay. I might do that next time. I've just had an idea what I want to do tonight. Look at that. How beautiful is that? That's just gorgeous. I know, Judy. I know, right? This is beautiful. I can think of a whole bunch of things I could do with that. Just gorgeous. Oh, my goodness. And the colors are amazing. Like, who would have thought that purple and blue would make such a beautifully, it looks almost haunting. Like, you know, like it's foggy or something. It's just beautiful. And the back of that, look at that. Gorgeous. more watery kind of scenes. On the back of that, we've got something you could add, lots of things. You could add sailboat to this. You could add some clouds. Very, very nice for lots of inspiring. Oh, look at that. What color is that? Is that pretty peacock? Oh, that's beautiful. Love, love, love. And this one is, there's only 2 left. There's this one. And on the back of that, you've got, oh no, that's the same one I just showed you. But I don't think I showed you the back of that one. There you go. And then this is the last one. Like looks like Scottish thistles. Is it Scotch thistles or Scottish thistles? I never know what the correct name for this is. And on the back here, look at that. Beautiful. Love, 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 love. All right, so it's called, once again, I just covered that up. Oh, the name of it's in there somewhere. I don't know. I did just tell you, but it's lost in there somewhere. Oh, there it is. There's the piece. And it's called Thoughtful Journey. That's what it's called. Beautiful. I know. I know. You just have to pick and choose, Maria. You can't have everything. I mean, I'm sure quite a few of us give it a red hot go, but, you know, that one is coming on the 1st of May. Unless you're a demonstrator, you'll be able to get it on the 2nd of April. Okay, so one of the perks of being a demonstrator is getting stuff first. All right, I'm going to use this paper because I'm going to pick it. I'm going to use it with a set that is retiring. Does anyone know what set I'm going to use? Who wants to guess? I tell you what, there's a couple of sets retiring that I'm a little bit sad about. I'm going to use this one today, though. This is retiring, the Hills of Tuscany, and I think it would be very nice with this, okay? This is also retiring, and I'm very sad about it because I love oceanfront. I might have to do a technique class over the next, maybe that'll be my technique class on Tuesday. I love to do watercolored scenes with stamps, and this lends itself really, really well to that. So we might have a play with that this week. I know some of you really love that style of stamping. All right, so Hills of Tuscany. This is a really nice set. I'm deciding though, do I want to go landscape or do I want to go portrait? I'm actually thinking maybe portrait. Yeah, I think maybe portrait. All right, let me cut this down. Now I'm going to bring that this little guy back in so I know what colors to use. Oh, I accidentally brought one of those. So the colors in this are Blackberry Bliss, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow is the dark green, Peach Pie, new color, Petunia Pop, new color, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, and Wild Wheat. Okay, so they're the colors in this paper. There's a lot of colors and they're beautiful. All right, but I'm going to use that. Yeah, you're right. You are correct, Chris. All right, so I'm going to cut this down to 9.5 centimeters wide. And I'm going to, now the question is, do I want more of the sky showing or more of the foreground? I think I want more of the sky showing. So I'm going to go 13.8, but I'm going to take my piece here off the bottom. All right. And it's looking like this. All right, then I have this beautiful set. Now this set has... we don't need to do very much to this. Okay, this is already beautiful in its own right, but we're just gonna amp it up a little bit. Okay, so I don't know that if I wanted to do something with the sky, I could add to the sky, but we don't really need to. But I'm thinking we're going to add some trees. I think some extra trees, some like little groves of. We've got they look like poplars. Is that what we think they are? Are they pines or are they poplars? I think they're rather nice. I'm going to add this one here. And what else do I have? I've got 2 Bs, so I might go with those. Just remember that A is retiring. All right, so I've got those. And I've also got, I'm just looking to see what else I could do. We've also got some mountain tops. I don't know whether I want to use those either, but also we have a house, and I might add a house. The house might be rather cute, actually. So if I'm going to add anything in the sky, I'll use block E because that's this big stamp here. So we can see if we'd like to add some more, like darken up the sky a little bit, maybe up towards the top. We'll see. But we're not going to do a lot to it. So I'm going to use Mossy Meadow because that's the green that's in this. And I'm going to, I might do a little bit of Stamping Off. Let's see. Because that's quite dark. And I didn't want it to be too dark. I want these to kind of be in the background. So we want them to be a little lighter. And I'm going to Stamp Off again. And I'm going to bring it down a little bit further. All right, so it's like a grove of trees going on over there. Oh, that's funny. You girls. Yes, it will be 3 p.m. You're correct, Lynn. I'm going later this week because I've got Stamp Club on in the morning and I want to make sure we're well and truly finished because we have lunch after Stamp Club with the girls. So I'm thinking that, you know, I don't want to, I'm going to have this one down in front. So this is like in the foreground. So I'm making this one full strength. Okay, so can you see that we've got some rocks or something here. So I actually am going to leave those there. I think that's probably enough there. And I'm deciding whether I want to add a house. Do you think we should add a house? What do you think? Let's see. I've got navy. That's going to be too dark. But I've got... What color would our house be? If this is Tuscany, it's not going to be blue, is it? It's going to be like a terracotta or something. We do have some... is that pumpkin in there? And I'm just... Oh, it's... Cajun Craze and Calypso Coral. Oh, I could go in with Cajun Craze. All right. There's a Cajun Craze is probably the color I use the least in my whole Stampin' Up group. Hey, Brenton, nice to see you. And I'm going to stamp this on a piece of white on here. And I'm going to put my trees back in the stamp pad and we're going to pull out the stamp set and I'm going to pull out the house because I'm going to cut this out. Now let's see how dark this is. Not too dark, actually. That's pretty good. And what color roof should it have, do you think? Stamp Off? Calypso Coral, yeah. Well, it could be, we could do Calypso Coral, but I don't mind this Cajun Craze house. I think that works and it will stand out a little bit. But did we say, are you saying, Lynn, that the roof should be Calypso Coral or it should be, oh, Sylvia said we should have white houses and red roofs. Well, white is a little bit hard to achieve quickly. I could emboss it, but I'm not going to do that tonight. So, okay. Grey, says Suzanne. Do you think a grey roof? We could do that. Or I could do navy. Navy would go in, like a misty moonlight roof would go in with my sky here. What do you think? Let's cut this out while we decide. I'm going to, it's easy to cut out because it's only little. So let me just pop this around here and then we'll decide what color roof we want to have. I'm open to all suggestions. I'm just trying to think, if I was in Tuscany, would it be a red roof? Or should I pick another color? Wild wheat. Ooh, a Calypso house, grey roof. Grey, says Suzanne. Yeah, there's a few people saying grey. Right. So this is going to look like that. And where is my house going to be? Probably in here somewhere. Oh, I don't know. I think probably around here, although I don't like it being right in the middle. So maybe move it to one side slightly there or something like that. And then I'm going to get my roof. So the roof is a separate piece. You can see the roof is here. A deep red, like you're thinking like cherry cobbler. Or are we thinking real red is probably too bright? It's probably going to be, that's more of a fire engine red, isn't it? Sweet Sorbet is more of a pinky red, and Poppy Parade is more orange. So let me try Cherry Cobbler, and we'll see if that works. Huh. I'm not sure what I did with my Cherry Cobbler ink. I've got a brand new one here because my old one needed replacing. Maybe I threw it out. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm opening this one anyway. White with a grey roof. Built in 1853. Wow, that sounds amazing. I'm going to try the Cherry Cobbler and we'll see how it looks. I mean, it doesn't really go with anything else in there, but, you know, houses don't have to go with the area that they're in, do they? All right, so let's grab the roof. And we're going to stamp that. You know what I should have done? I've just realized what I should have done. All right, let's do this the way it's supposed to be done, because I'm a ning nong. I was going to put the roof on separately, but no. This is what we need to do. Oh dear. Okay, what I just did, ignore. This is not what you do. Okay, we are now going to do it the way it's supposed to be done. All right, so I've got my Cajun craze, and I've got my house. Did anyone else pick up what I was doing and wonder what the heck I was doing? All right, so let me try this again. Okay, house. It's a nice stamp too, like a distinctive stamp. So you've got dark and light parts of the house. All right, then roof. And we stamp that because it's photopolymer. We stamp it where it's supposed to be. Then we cut it out. How much easier is that? I just looked at it and went, you silly, silly girl. What have you done? So can you see how this is now? Now we cut it. And you guys were probably all thinking, what is she doing? Or did anyone not realize? Did anyone realize and wondered how I was going to do it? Oh my gosh. That's all right. No one's perfect, you guys. Certainly not me. All right. I'm just going to go around here. So I ended up having to do some fussy cutting after all, but at least I didn't have to fussy cut that flower that we did earlier. So for anyone who missed our earlier card, I had this flower already prepared so that so I didn't have to sit there and fussy cut it. This is a pretty easy shape to fussy cut. All right, it does look good with the Cherry Cobbler roof, don't you think? Oh yes, we will need some birds, definitely. I agree. Yeah, the white houses make sense, actually. All right, so let's, where are we going to put this? The question is, are we going to have it kind of to one side over here? Are we going to have it here in front of the trees? Where do you think it should go? I don't think that's right. I think it needs to go in here somewhere. Like so. Looks good. Yes, exactly. Do as I tell you to do, not necessarily as I do, Jody. Actually, it's Christine that said that. All right, you can glue this straight on or you can put dimensionals behind, which, you know, is usually my preferred way to work. This is a very nice set, this Hills of Tuscany set, and I am going to be a little sad to see it go, but I haven't used it nearly as much as I should have. All right, it's coming together really nicely. All right. We could add more from the set, like in some of these colors. We could add, you know, we could add some bits and pieces. We could add, I did talk about, you know, like I could add some hills here if I wanted to, that kind of thing, but I'm not going to worry about it today. Don't think it's going to add that much to it. I did decide, though, I would like to add something up here in the sky, just a bit more cloudiness going on maybe. So shall we go with the purpley tones, or I could even add some Blackberry Bliss there in the sky to darken up the corners, or we could, what do you think? Behind the trees on the left. Yeah, I mean, I think where it is okay, but don't hide the trees. Well, these ones you can see all of them. These, the closer ones, we can only see a couple. But I didn't want it to be right in the middle. Let me just pick it up and let's see if it would look better moved over. But if I can't remove it easily, I'll just leave it where it is. It's okay where it is. Are you thinking over here? Is that where you're thinking? Like that? Do we like that better? Anyway, you guys let me know. I'm going to come in with, I'm thinking maybe some Blackberry Bliss. Quite a few of you think alike. I think that is true. All right, I'm going to add some Blackberry, and I'm going to stamp this off first because I want to see how dark it is. Let's see. Not very. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as it is, but because it's a big stamp, see how I lost some up here? That's because it's a very big solid stamp, and really I should be working with a matte underneath what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that right now. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add some color up here into my sky. Just to add some extra stuff going on up there in the sky. All right. Now, if we wanted to, we could get, and even though it's not watercolor paper, we could move this around a little bit. Like if I wanted to push a little bit of water through, and I could, you know, darken that up a little bit more there at the corners. So you can get a bit creative with this if you want to. Okay, so, you know, make it a bit more purple or whatever, just to add some interest. The other thing we could do is we could add a sun if we wanted to. We have a little circle for the sun, but I'm thinking I kind of like it just as it is. I'm thinking it might stay like this. Let's have a look. Is there any? We've also got, this is a kind of a, this is kind of a bit of a cloudy. I think that would look nice in the sky as well. But anyway, I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm thinking, what color will I put behind this? We also are going to need a sentiment, and we've got a few nice ones in here. We've got wishing you peace. We've got a hello, you're in my thoughts, which is always good for someone that you are caring for, you know, in any situation. Or I just can't thank you enough. I think I'm going to go with the you're in my thoughts. Oh yeah, birds. Don't forget the birds. Absolutely not. I agree. Now, there are no birds in this set, but we do have some sets that have birds. And a couple of these are retiring as well. So On the Ocean has a nice set of birds. I like this one. And this is a retiring set, and it's got this great little set of birds. So I'm going to use those. Let's grab that. Pop that right there. And what color will I do it in? Will I do it in, will I do it in, like, there's a bit of Misty Moonlight or navy here, or I can use the Blackberry Bliss again, and we can have them coming out of this cloudy area just here probably. What do you guys think? What color will we do? It does look like it's going to rain. I know. Black. Oh, okay. Jody was first with MM, which I'm assuming is Misty Moonlight. Am I correct? Is that what you're thinking? I want to make sure it's a darker color. So Misty Moonlight's probably as light as I would go. So let's have these going just over here. Hold them down. There we go. Some birdies. It does make a difference having the birds, doesn't it? Pebble Path would have worked well as well. Yeah. So, but the Misty Moonlight is fine. So The question now is, what color should I put behind? I could put any of these colors behind. I could do Blackberry Bliss, and maybe if I'm going to do that, I would stamp whatever greeting in whatever color I'm using to match this. So if I used Misty Moonlight, for example, that's what it would look like so, which is not bad. If I use Blackberry or Navy, they're all going to look fine. This is Blackberry. I actually like that. I think that might work. Although the house kind of clashes with it a little bit, but I don't think it looks bad. What do you think? Blackberry Bliss or black? Oh, yeah, we could go black. But we haven't. If I was going to go black behind, I probably would have done my birds in black as well. But I did not. So, okay, here are my three choices. Blackberry Bliss is the purpley one. Night of Navy is the darker blue. And that looks good. And Misty Moonlight is the lighter blue. I think one of these two. I think the darker looks better. What do you think? Blackberry Bliss? Okay. Yeah, Blackberry Bliss it is. I agree. Okay, let's cut this to size. So this piece is my card front size piece. So that's going to be 10 centimeters across. If you're in the US, it would be 4 inches across for your cardstock size. And then I'm going 14.3. And I believe in the US it would be 5 1/4 inches. All right, so let's pop this on here. So this is going to go, oh, it does look good. Color is good. Good choice, guys. So we use something old and something new on this card. We use new paper because it's so gorgeous, and then we popped it in with an older set that is actually going to be discontinued at the end of next month, unless it sells out first, of course. All right, so I can put my greeting on a banner, but I'm tempted to just stamp it straight on. What do you guys think? Do you have a feeling on that? Let me see, where's my Blackberry Bliss? Where did I just, here it is. I love Blackberry Bliss. It's one of my favorite colors. I liked it when it was a regal, and I like it as a neutral as well. So let me grab this piece here, and let's grab ourselves You're in My Thoughts. Stamp on the card. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Is this the one? Yep, You're in My Thoughts. Right, let's ink that up. Because it's such a small sentiment, you don't need to worry about a mat underneath. The question is where we put it down the bottom, a little bit higher up onto the left-hand side. I think because the house is here, we want our greeting on the right, and I'm thinking about putting it up further. So it's not right down the bottom. Like that. Looks rather good. I'm liking it very much. I do feel like that's looking a little bit, it needs a bit more color brought over. Let me just push a tiny bit more water through. There we go. That looks better. Perfect. Excellent. Now we are going to need some bling though, right? And we're going to need well, I haven't got one here, a white card base underneath to make it a completed card. But let's see, what bling do I have that would look really good with this? We could go in with our purples because those are going to kind of match, even though there is kind of a bit of purpley tone in here, but I don't know that they're right. There's also Blackberry Bliss bling here. Do you think that would be good? I think it would. I've just answered my own question. I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to go a large one. Where will I put them all? Yeah, the Blackberry Bliss actually is the right color. So, and then 2 little ones further up. Oh. I had a bit of a cooking day today. I made bagels, which I love to make. Haven't made them for a while. Bagels, and then I made a yummy lemon chicken pasta thingy for dinner. Oh, pretty good if I do say so myself. I was very happy with that. See, I don't just make cards. All right. And that's going to go onto a white card base. And we've got 2 cards, guys. What do you think? Do we like these? They're quite different tonight, aren't they? I think this is a really different style of card. So just remember that the Hills of Tuscany stamp set is retiring. Okay, this one is going to be gone. That's in our mini catalog. So let me just grab the mini list. And where is Hills of Tuscany? Now, can I just give you a little tip? When you want to find something in here, the easiest way to do it is, first of all, check that you're using the right list, because on Friday night I totally used the wrong one, so that was embarrassing. And the easiest way to find it is to go to the index at the back of the catalogue, and alphabetically here with all the stamps, Hills of Tuscany, page 20, okay? Look down here. This is in page order, so page 20, there it is, Hills of Tuscany stamp set. Okay, I'm going to get my ruler. Hills of Tuscany. Okay, there is no sale price on this. It is $42 here in Australia, but it's not being discounted. So if you wanted that, there's no reason to wait. You're better off to get it now in case it sells out. Does that make sense? So do check in if there's something that has a discount percentage. You can check and then make a decision whether you think it's worth waiting to try and take advantage of that, or whether, if you have a feeling it might sell out, not that anyone truly knows, but if you think it might, because you know it's something super popular, you might be better off not waiting. I mean, if it's a small discount, like a 10% discount, that might not be worth waiting, but a 50% discount, it might be worth waiting for. So yeah, you've kind of got some decisions to make on what's worth waiting for and what is not. All right, so this one's going. This one's coming, okay? So this one's not going. This one's going to be in the new catalog, so it's not going anywhere. It's going to be out very soon. And they're the 2 cards we've made tonight. What do you think? Did we have fun with those? Oh, Cherie, do you realize we've only got this weekend and next weekend, and the following weekend is the weekend that those of us here in Australia that have daylight saving will be switching back to regular times. So then we'll all be on the same time zone, Cherie and Megan and anyone else who's watching from Queensland or Western Australia. And Northern Territory too. I don't think you guys have daylight saving either, do you? Lynn, do you have daylight saving up there? I don't think you do. I think we've discussed this before, I think, and I've just forgotten. Is Cookie asleep? Yes, he's got his head tucked in under his wing. He's having a nap. So you are correct. He is asleep. Well, this is what you missed tonight, Cherie. So you can go back and watch the replay if you would like. We did some, this is new paper that we added some stamping to with the Hills of Tuscany set, because the Hills of Tuscany set is actually retiring. And then this is a new stamp set called Spotlight on Nature, and these are the matching dies. This is new paper called Mediterranean Blooms. So I've kind of mixed up a few things tonight to get some different effects. Yes, always behind New Zealand, Sheila. Always, always. You guys are always 2 hours in front of Sydney. No, I didn't think so. I didn't think you had it in Northern Territory. All right, ladies. Well, I love spending time with you, as always. Let me just switch back to me. There we go. So I hope that you guys have a great week. For those of you who are in my team, I'll be live with you guys tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. To answer any questions that you have. If you have questions, save them up and ask me tomorrow. I'll be around. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, just hit the subscribe button, because that's how I find more and more people, and it helps me get suggested and recommended out to more people as well. So that would really help me if you're able to do that. And I wish you all a great week ahead. Happy Easter if I don't see you again before then, but for those of you who are around, I'll be live Tuesday at 3 and then Thursday at 2 for Craft Along. Okay, thank you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.